It's always a fascinating conversation with my parents when I hear that they got their first phone at the age of 24. I can never come to believe that they spent the first 24 years of their life without the most groundbreaking invention of the 21st century. Kids like me in Generation Z are introduced to technology at such a young age, and we are truly fortunate to get the modern and quicker way of the technology. Generation Z refers to anyone born after 1995 and before 2010, which eventually leads to the oldest members being barely out of their teen years. Fortunately, I am also part of the wonderful Generation Z. Father of the nation and the Messiah of nonviolence, Mahatma Gandhi said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." Generation Z is taking Gandhiji's wisdom to heart, and their choices are reflecting it. We are a generation that has seen it all. Everything from dot-com boom to dot-com bubble burst. The devastating 9/11 event of 2001. The 2008 financial crash, and we're currently going through a tough pandemic situation. I am about to miss my 8th grade graduation, and I will watch as my friends and family in high school miss their high school graduation, an even more important milestone as part of an academic journey. As recently as now, the pandemic got the best of us. I watched how my friends and family in high school transitioned from preparing for high school prom to setting up an online school account. I saw the SATs and the ACTs becoming optional. It shook us. But we dusted it off and got ready to enter a whole new virtual world of online classes, meetings, and turning those flabs into abs. Our experiences from the past prepare us for anything to come in the future. Now, all the generations before us did the best they could with the limited technology and innovation they had. They worked hard, remained loyal to their employer, and always made sure there was food on the table for their family. However, they always discussed how they could have done more, but were never able to put their plan into action. And this is why they see us as their hope of the future. We have responsibilities to fulfill, and that's why the baton has been passed to us. Ever heard of the quote, "Actions speak louder than words"? Well, taking that into consideration, we, as Generation Z, can take our ideas and passions and actually put our plan into action. We can achieve things the generations before us were never able to achieve. We are fortunate enough to be in the midst of a digital and social media revolution. This entire experience gives us so many ideas that could be used towards helping a great cause. Today, by sharing my journey and my experience, I want all the young people out there to be able to take risks that would lead to an applause-worthy product and could potentially help save lives. As truly digital natives, we, as Generation Z, use social media not only to learn about important issues, but also to make a meaningful difference. 91% of our generation says that we use social media to learn about and participate in issues that we care about. We feel so well informed, in fact, that we know more about important issues than our parents or guardians. We sincerely feel like social media engagement can drive change. 80% of our generation says that using social media can really create an important impact on issues. About 2 to 3 years ago, Google published a magazine with the title, "It's Lit." That's right, you heard me, it's lit. My dad always says he trusts Google more than my mom because Google knows him better than my mom, and that's why I trust Google for data. Anyways, according to the magazine, Generation Z is the most informed, evolved, and empathetic generation of its kind. We value information and connection, evident by our affinity for YouTube, Netflix, and Facebook. Now, we as Generation Z can achieve and do so much. We like to be self-directed as we know that the biggest change can be made only by what we envision. A recent study by the well-known Northeastern University said that as a group, Gen Z tends to be highly self-directed, demonstrated by a strong desire to work for themselves, study entrepreneurship, and design their own programs of study in college. As self-directed young individuals, we, as Generation Z, can take our opportunity and potential and make a change in the world for the better. We can achieve things that people before us were never able to achieve. Now adding my own personal experience into the mix. Belonging to an immigrant entrepreneur household, I grew up taking many risks, and I grew up with many changes. I was fortunate enough to be blessed with a caring family and a great vocal talent. And honestly, life was pretty simple until reality hit. And I learned about my neighbor's daughter who had ASD, autism spectrum disorder. I noticed how the family's plans changed, and I noticed how some things they thought they would be able to do, they weren't able to do anymore. At the time, I was young and I didn't understand much of it. Until recently, another family friend of mine was diagnosed with a rare case of autism called CDKL5. This time, I was much older, and I understood the difficulties the family had to go through. I knew that there was not only an emotional drain upon them, but also a financial drain. I wanted to see what I could do to help, so I continued on to do some research on available CDC websites, and I discovered that about 1 in 6, around 17% of the children aged 3 to 17 were diagnosed with a developmental disability. In the year 2000, 1 in 150 children were diagnosed with autism. In the year 2008, 1 in 88 people were diagnosed with autism. And in the last year recorded by CDC, 2014, 1 in 59 people were diagnosed with autism. Now, if we put this into simple math, autism in the last 3 years grew 16-fold. Now, being part of Generation Z and not being afraid of making change, I was able to take these numbers and make a positive impact. I could have stopped here, knowing what the problem was, and just having someone else swoop in and solve the problem for me. But as Generation Z, we are here to make a difference. Now, I created this box that was a subscription toy box that was not only affordable but also educational and gave children the resources they needed to develop their sensory skills, motor skills, and communication skills. I wanted to make a positive impact on these children's lives, one box at a time. Well, you must be asking, why did I create this box? Well, it was because when I went on to do some more research about these special children, I came to a shocking revelation. While any foreign e-commerce store sold a toy for $1 or $2, the same toy on a leading store in the United States was sold for 10-fold the price. Similarly, a regular iPad case with a little extra protection was sold for $99 to $100, whereas the real price would be worth anywhere from $5 to $6. So to solve that problem, I created a subscription toy box for autistic children. Now, I have the same access to the digital world as anyone in Generation Z does. We are the digital-first generation. For me to solve a problem and find a solution, all I needed to do was research online using digital tools such as Google, CDC reports, Facebook groups, and just talking to the parents in the vicinity. Technology is not just changing Generation Z. It is increasing connectivity and changing the way Gen Zers perceive themselves. I have the same access to the digital world as anyone in Generation Z does. With the available digital resources and with the help of family and friends, if I could take a step towards making a positive impact, all of us together as Generation Z can make an even larger impact. So together, let's make the world a better place, one step at a time. Thank you.